Hello, hello, everybody. Make sure everything's sounding good. It is good to be with you after a few weeks off. So if you're here live, it's good to see you. For watching on the restream, thanks for stopping by and watching. So what has been going on? I obviously want to talk to you all, get your comments here in the chat, answer some questions, and we'll go from there. So what has been going on? Well, I took a few weeks off to spend some time with some loved ones. I actually had my birthday during that time. Back at the end of July, I had my birthday, so that was exciting. Not doing a whole lot right now, obviously, because everything that's going on, but it was nice to celebrate another birthday. Yeah, so I released a new video on Mallows C, which is a way of evaluating multiple regression models. So if you haven't checked that out, please go back and check that video out. This last one I did. And I have some more coming up, so I'm currently researching the next series of videos and trying to put those together for you the best I can. So obviously, here in the US and other places around the world, I'm not sure how it all works, but I know here in the US, this is back to school time. So if you ever wanted to help out my channel, the best thing you can do is share it. So if you are in school or recently in school or know someone else that's in school or whatever else that is studying statistics and things like that, please share the channel with them so they have a resource to help them get through their class or whatever else is they're doing. So I'm not doing it to try to make a bunch of money, because obviously YouTube doesn't pay education channels very much, but I just want to help people. So if you know anyone that is starting school here soon or is in school, share the channel with them so they can have that resource. I really appreciate that. So I'm going to start doing some live streams again. I'm not sure if I'll do them every Saturday, but we'll see. It just depends on what is going on in my life and what's going on in the regular calendar and holidays and things like that. So we'll see. But I'm going to try to do live streams every Saturday or almost every Saturday, especially since school is starting. So I started the live streams really after the previous school year had ended. So this will be the first sort of semester school year when I'm doing live streams during a traditional school period. So I'm going to try to keep doing those. So we'll keep doing that as time goes forward. Let's see what else we got here in the chat. Picking with you. So the sound is perfect. Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate that. Hey, Teha, what's up, buddy? I won't tell this whole story, but actually Teha is actually up the street from me. But it's good to see. I haven't been up to Starbucks in a while because I've been busy, but I was up there yesterday, I think. So it's good to see you, Teha. And thank you for the happy birthday. Yeah, I turned 45. So, but getting older doesn't bother me a bit, you know? So, I'm more than happy to age gracefully and get the wisdom of time and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't bother me a bit. So happy 45th birthday to me, and on to the next one. So excellent. Thank you. Hello, hello. Nice to meet you as well. Nice to meet you. So what we're going to do today is we're going to try to keep the chat to around 30 minutes or so. I'm meeting some friends here in a bit. It's a nice Saturday here where I'm at in Ohio. So I'm going to meet some friends here and visit with them and just try to have a relaxing weekend is my plan. So it's been really, really, really hot where I'm at, as it is in most places. Hasn't rained in like 2 weeks. So I'm going to go try to enjoy the day and enjoy the weekend. So that's my plan for the rest of the day. So we'll keep this to around 30 minutes. Plus, your time is valuable too. All right. Yes, email regarding MLR. Figure that out. So I'll have to go back and check. So this is a good time to bring this up, that, as you might guess, between YouTube, regular contact form on my website, LinkedIn, and stuff like that, I get dozens of comments and questions and things every day. And of course, YouTube is not my full-time job. I do have a 9-to-5 sort of regular job and YouTube on top of that, and a third job on top of that. So it's very hard for me to answer everything and to dedicate the time to that, but I will try to go back and look for that. So it's just tough. You know, it's really hard to find time to give every comment or question justice, because the time is just really, really, really tight. So what's up, Isaiah? Hope you're safe and sound back in Iowa City. And it was good to visit with you while you were here. So, yes, I'm glad that you are there, and we'll talk later, of course. All right. So, what else have I been doing? I did pick up another book I want to share with you. So, the Barnes and Noble where I live is actually moving. So they had this big half price, like 50% off sale. So I loaded up on books, and one of them I'm currently reading. I'll share with you. This is not an endorsement or a sponsorship or anything like that, but I did find it really helpful. So the book I'm reading now is this one. So it is Machine Learning with Python for Everyone. I like the way it's written. It's a mix of conceptual explanations and a very sort of layperson's way of explaining it, in addition to all the code blocks that you can do in like Jupyter Notebook or whatever else it is. So, so if you can find maybe a copy of this or something that online or whatever else, I do recommend this book. I found it to be so far very, very helpful. I actually am reading it like page by page because that's what I do for fun. That's what I do for fun. So yeah, check this book out if you can find it. It is, if you buy it outright, it is fairly expensive. I got it half off because of the sale at the Barnes and Noble, but you could probably find it relatively inexpensively somewhere. So I definitely recommend checking that out. All right. So what else we got going on here? Thank you for your stats playlist. You are very welcome. I am very glad to provide them for you. I wish I could do more. I wish I could make more videos and stuff like that. But again, as I always say on these streams and other arenas, time is just really tight for me. So I do the best I can with the time I have, and I try to provide those resources for you. So yes, you are very, very, very welcome. Very welcome. Rishika, thank you for your comment. I appreciate that. So where am I going from here on the channel? By the way, the channel just crossed 247,000 subscribers. Yesterday, it crossed 247,000. So for me, that I could never in a bazillion years imagine it would ever get that big, ever. So I'm very excited and humbled that the channel has reached that milestone of 247,000. Of course, that means we're approaching the really, really big milestone of 250,000 subscribers, which again, I never would have thought that would even be remotely possible when I started this thing 9 years ago now. So, yeah, so I'm excited about that. That should hopefully happen in the next month or so, right in the middle of school season. So I'm very excited about that. We'll probably have a special live stream or something to kind of mark that milestone. But again, I don't do YouTube for the numbers or the subscription figures or the money or anything like that. I do it to help people like you get through your class, get through your studies, whatever else that might be. However, 250,000 subscribers is a big deal. And I don't want to minimize that milestone, but I would like to have some of you celebrate it with me, because without you all, there is no me on YouTube. Like, you all make that possible. So it might be nice to do something really, really cool with that. Next thing I wanted to point out, back in early June, I hosted this very massive live stream. It was like 2 hours long. We had like 9 or 10 panelists and everything. So we talked about inclusion and diversity and opportunity in statistics and data science. It was through a professor at UCLA, and our goal was to help get their fundraising threshold met so that the university would match that. So the goal of the Belonging in Statistics Fund at UCLA, they were trying to raise $100,000. And then if they did that, the university would match that $100,000 to provide resources and programming and things like that for students to expand the groups and types of students that get into data science and statistics. Well, I'm happy to announce that fund met its fundraising goal. So whether or not our live stream or anything like that contributed significantly to it, there's no way of really knowing. But I'm happy to announce that the goal of that live stream, in addition to the conversation we were having, but also to raise a few dollars for that fund, met. So there will be at least $200,000 available in that fund now for those students. Isn't that awesome? So I want to thank all of you that stopped by that live stream or went back and watched it or contributed a few dollars here or there. Really appreciate that. So between my personal contribution to that fund and the donations I got through my PayPal donation tip jar, I was able to contribute, I think it was about $400 or something like that. So that's not nothing. It's not huge, but it's not nothing, you know. So hopefully the program will go well and the students will benefit from that live stream we did and the fund. So, Mike, if you happen to be watching or go back and watch this, congratulations, my friend. You did a lot of hard work to get that fund going, and good for you and good for the students there. How have you been? Hope you're great. Trying to understand hierarchical Bayesian models. Got any book tutorial suggestions? Hierarchical Bayesian. I would have to go back and look off the top of my head. You know, I don't know the index of all the books I have, which are numerous. I'd have to go back and look and see which books might cover something that specific. The ISL book might, but I don't want to go through here and thumb through books necessarily on the live stream. So let me write this down. Models. And maybe see. So drop me a message on YouTube or my website or LinkedIn, and maybe I can look and see if I can find something that that meets that. So, or something that has that that's something that's specific in it. So it'll take me some searching and sleuthing to do. All right. So you deserve more, and you'll get there. Yes, thank you, Rashik. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been a long road to 250,000 subscribers. It's taken 9 years to get there, assuming I do get there here in a few weeks or so. So it's just a long, yet if you want to do YouTube, you have to be patient. It just takes a lot of patience to build up a channel and build up, get the word out. And it just takes a lot of time and takes a lot of patience. And, you know, my philosophy on doing YouTube is I don't want to do it to the point where I get burned out on it and just want to stop doing it, which is common. If you go through YouTube enough, you will see lots of YouTubers that have done it for a while that just have to take long breaks or they have to like quit entirely or whatever. So I don't want to get there. So I try to pace myself with the time I have to make content for you and go from there. But it does mean my channel doesn't grow as fast as someone who can do it full time necessarily, you know. So whether I deserve more, we will see. Deserving just means they, you know, students hit the subscribe button and watch, and that's how I determine if I deserve anything. So it's really whatever help I can give other people is my goal. So click off that there. All right. So like I said, I'm working on some more videos on multiple regression, and then I've had some requests really in two sort of veins, I think. One is time series, doing some videos on time series analysis. Another one was sort of design of experiments. So I might go one of those two directions. Probably I'll go both of those directions eventually, both of them. But I got to pick one to maybe jump off on to after I get done with the multiple regression stuff I want to do. So the next series of videos will be on things like the AIC, which is the Akagike information criterion, and the BIC, which is the Bayesian information criterion, which are ways of deciding on the best multiple regression model, but those are likelihood models. So they're based on likelihood, maximum likelihood, which is a much more complex concept. I'm gonna try to keep it simple, not go into the really crazy complex math or anything like that. Just kind of explain what they are, how they're used, and how you might use them when you're analyzing or trying to decide between whatever regression models you might want to do. So that's where I'm going the next few videos at least, and then we'll see where we go from there. The other challenge with YouTube is that you need to make content that is beneficial to a relatively large number of people. If you make something that's very specific, it's a lot of time invested in a very specific niche idea that it benefits greatly a few people. But my goal is to benefit as many people as possible, you know. So I try to do a mix of things that are universally useful and then maybe some more niche things here and there that might benefit a few people sort of greatly. So that's kind of the philosophy I do behind when I make the videos. So yes, please drop any comments, chats, questions you might have in the chat, and I will try to answer them sort of the best I can. But I am going to grab a quick sip of my coffee because we all need coffee. Or at least I need coffee. So I haven't had my coffee yet today. Went for a morning hike, which I do usually on Saturdays if the weather is nice, and then I came in to talk to you all. So please post comments, questions in the chat, and I will bring them up or try to answer them sort of the best I can. All right. Another thing people have asked for are some sort of introductory level basic machine learning type stuff, which I'm more than happy to do. The challenge with that is that there's already so much content out there that I don't know whether or not me putting the effort into making content on that will add anything to just the massive mountain of content there already is out there on that kind of stuff. Now, I do think my way of explaining and teaching is relatively unique. So I might do that. Not quite sure. So, but I do find it extremely interesting. And every time I'm reading something about ML, so like obviously this book I'm reading now, or another book I'm reading on ML, I think, I could really explain that differently and I think better. Not that I'm like super guru teacher, because I'm not. I'm a learner first, but then I'm a teacher second. But I keep thinking maybe I could do some content based on that. So we will see. So many topics that I could make videos on that I'd like to make videos on, but I need like 36-hour days to do it all. All right. So thank you for an amazing playlist. You are very welcome. Very welcome. So yeah, a great thing to do if anyone's interested in going through my videos in terms of the playlists, YouTube does not do a good job, organizing the front of sort of content. I don't think it's gotten better over time, but I still don't think it's optimal. So on my little website, which is very basic, I have like a table of contents that have every playlist listed in chronological order. And of course, the videos are inside the playlist are also in order. So a learner could go through like playlist 2, watch it all the way through, playlist 3, watch it all the way through, playlist 4, watch it all the way through. And it will all be in order in the way a traditional conventional statistics class is actually taught. So, all right. Oh, good. We got some questions in here. So Rashika asked, I was actually asked to go through your playlist by my mentor at my internship, and I recommended them further to my friends. It's amazing how your oldest videos continue to help. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's the best way to promote any YouTuber is to share their channel, share their content to other people. And my channel is good for some people. A different channel might be better for them, or vice versa. Not everyone is everyone else's cup of tea, but hopefully my channel is helpful. And if you share it with other people, they can benefit from learning from it and stuff like that. Again, people like me aren't on YouTube to make money. Like my YouTube income last month barely covered my food for the month. Of course, it is July and school's out, so that's relatively normal, but we don't do it for money, But yeah, share it, please. All right. So it'd be possible for you to cover multivariate analysis methods. Um, if you're if you're talking about like things like multiple regression, I do have a lot of videos on multiple regression. I'm still working on videos on multiple regression. Of course, there are many other multivariate methods. So if there's something specific in that sort of family of the general linear model and multivariate that you're interested in, you can just let me know. Actually, you made some more comments there. So I will go back and look and see what else you said. But yeah, any specific things, it's better to give me specifics so I can see what I can do. All right. Hope you do make an ML playlist. It's going to help many. We will see. Again, it just depends on time, but I do love that content, and I kind of have a strategy in mind of how I would do it. Again, it's just time. Don't quite understand the big data ecosystem. Do you think you can come up with content? Maybe, but I do think there are people who are better at that than me. So there are lots of individuals on YouTube and Udemy and Coursera and other types of websites and blogs and stuff like that that do specifically work in big data ecosystems that specialize in that. And it is such a specialized sort of area. Probably better off looking at those channels and content because that is a bit on the periphery, a little bit further out in terms of the topics I usually would cover. So don't roll anything out, but something like that is on my channel, at least for now, is unlikely, at least in the immediate future. So, all right. So tons of machine learning reference material online. There's not enough on a systematic approach to applied multivariate methods. Yeah, I agree, you know. But I will say too, that's true. The challenge with doing something like that is, at least in my experience, is that the attention span of a lot of learners and stuff nowadays is very short. So I would love to take like a case, you know, from collecting data through cleaning it up, through everything, like from the very beginning, formulating the problem or the question first, which is where we should all start. We should all start with a question or something we want to do, then get the data, then analyze it, do recommendations, like the whole process. I'd love to walk through that whole process, and I might do something like that at some point. So the systematic approach to applied multivariate methods, I think, is a good idea. You know, for example, finding quality content on mixed modeling methods has not been easy. Also, structural equation modeling (SEM) methods. That's another common one that comes up for some reason when I do these live streams or on my channel. Structural equation modeling, or SEM, seems to be a very popular topic that people want some help with. So I didn't think about that at first. So that's a third track that I might take or explore in terms of making some content. Again, when these things become more complicated, they take more time to do. They take more time to make content for, and they tend to appeal to a more narrow slice of learner. So it's the trade-off in time and everything. So yeah, I'm do the best I can. Excuse me. My approach is amazing. Your approach is amazing. Hence the request. Thank you. Yeah. Anytime anyone asks me to make content on something, that's a good thing because it means the way I explain things, the way I teach, and the way I make my videos and stuff like that are beneficial. Because if it was crap, then people wouldn't want me to make more crap. So when people want more content, that's a good sign. And I do appreciate that vote of confidence. So thank you very much. All right. I do have some other ideas, you know, that I'm exploring. I think I would like to have more introductory statistics students get comfortable with things like Jupyter Notebook and some other types of environments that I think are beneficial for learners. Of course, the R Python debate goes on and on and on, which I don't want to get into again on this live stream necessarily. So it's hard to like pick, you know, which language to go. Of course, Jupyter Notebook can do both and others, but So I'm still toying with that idea and saying how I want to approach it. I try to keep sort of my ear to the ground to listen to the herd of where statistical learning is going over the next 12 to 24 months, and then anticipate what learners are going to need over those 12 to 24 months and try to get out ahead of that and have some content ready. I don't always get that right. The winds change very quickly in these fields, as many of you know. So I just try to do my best to anticipate what that may or may not be and make content, for them. So yeah. And then, it's also just resources, available. Time is a resource, but also, money is a resource, and everything else. It just takes a lot of resources to do this type of stuff. But I do the best I can. And I will say too, the other wild card, as we all know, is the current state of COVID, depending on where you are at. So I know here where I'm at in the U.S., there's a resurgence of the Delta variant. A lot of places are going back to closed offices. So my office that I work at up the street, at Cengage Learning where I work, we went back to what we call phase 1, which means basically no one's in the office at all. We made it up to phase 3, and then Delta variant came, and now we're back to phase 1. So that's going to be another wild card over the next 6 to 12 months is what happens with COVID. So it's I tend to make content at coffee shops. It's the best place I work in general. So if everything's closed, it's a challenge, a bit more of a challenge for me to make content, but I do the best I can. All right, a few more minutes. So if you have questions or comments in the chat, now is the time, because I am going to wrap this up here in a few minutes to respect your time here on this weekend. And also I have some things to do later today. So if you have a couple of questions or comments, I will answer those if you put them in the chat now. All right. Shared your videos with my students in India, and they've all find it helpful. My viewers from India are so close and dear to my heart. If it weren't for the students and learners in India, I wouldn't be who I am. My channel wouldn't be what it is. So I'm so glad I'm able to help everyone, but especially learners in India. I was so happy and so honored to be on a podcast earlier this year, which you can find on my LinkedIn page. So if you go down to the featured section, there is a link to the recording of that podcast with some actually students in India. We have a great discussion. So if you want to check that out, feel free. But yes, I hope to get there someday, like I always say. It has given me more room to cover deeper topics and for case discussions. That is a very good point. If you offer a resource like a YouTube or something else like that, that students can kind of look through on their own, that does free up bandwidth for in-class time or other deeper concepts you want to do in person or you normally wouldn't get to. So, yes, that is very, very, it's a very good idea. Kind of offload some of that stuff. So I've also toyed with maybe doing like a Udemy course or something like that, but that's a huge undertaking. I'm not quite sure of their pricing model now because they went to like a hybrid of you can buy courses, but you can also subscribe. I'm not quite sure how that works. And, I try to make the content freely accessible as much as I can. So we'll see about that. So, thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really, really appreciate that. Yes, I do accept super chats if you want to drop a few dollars in there. And every bit does help. And let me explain really quickly how every little bit literally helps. When I put a video on YouTube, I pay to have it professionally captioned by a professional person who understands everything and goes word by word through it. So that costs me $1.25 per minute. So even if someone donates $5, that covers 4 minutes of a video's closed captioned. And think about how many people that could help. So a lot of my viewers, not a lot, but some of my viewers have accessibility needs where they need to have the correct caption for accessibility. And I have a lot of viewers where English may or may not be their first language. So they tend to use the captions to go along with me talking to help kind of, put the two together so they understand what's going on. And thirdly, I have a lot of viewers that might watch the videos without sound So maybe they are on a bus or in a subway or somewhere else where they can't have the audio going, don't have headphones or earbuds. So they'll actually read the captions without any sound. So even if someone donates $5, $5 US, that's 4 minutes of closed captions for a video. Every little bit literally helps. So, all right, last question or two, and we're going to wrap this up here on this Saturday. Hi from India. We're everywhere. I hope you all are safe and healthy there. I know it was a rough spring, so I do hope all you are doing well. First to watch stats video on YouTube or channel. I'm studying data science right now, so thank you. Are very, very, very welcome. Very welcome. Best way for encoding large numbers of categorical variables, for example, mean encoding, etc. So there are two separate questions there. So for encoding large number of categorical variables, of course, you have one-hot encoding or dummy variables and stuff like that, which is usually what a software program is doing in the background anyway. But most categorical variables at the core are actually just turned into binary indicator variables, ones and zeros. So whether or not the software requires that is separate from what's actually going on under the hood. That's actually what's going on under the hood. So it depends on what software you're using and things like that. So mean encoding for categorical variables, I'd have to maybe clarify that for me. What exactly you mean by mean encoding for a categorical variable? When I think of encoding large numbers of categorical variables, I think of dummy variables or one-hot, however you want to put it. So, but anyway, the software does that regardless. All right. Brandon just logged in to say hi to you. Hope you're doing well. Venkatesh, I hope you are doing well too, my friend. Wherever you happen to be, I hope you are doing well too. All right. So I'm going to start to wrap this up real quick. If you have any other question, now is the time to throw it in there. So the plan going forward is I will do live streams every Saturday or pretty much every Saturday, depending on my schedule. So you can stop by, ask questions. If you are teaching or have friends that are in school, feel free to have them drop by the live stream, especially if they're in like an intro stats class or something like that. I can take some questions here and there, live if they are around, and I'll be happy to do that as class gets started. I will also point out that I have done some speaking engagements with classes over the past few months. So I spoke to a class in Seattle a few months ago. So Eric, if you're watching, thank you for having me. So I'm more than happy to hop on a Zoom or speak to students if you want me to, or anyone you know might want me to in a Zoom. I promise I'm not boring. I try not to be boring and answer their questions the best I can. And we usually have a really good conversation. So I'm always happy to do that if I have the time, of course. All right. So, all right, everybody. I think I'm going to go ahead. It's been a little bit over half an hour. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up for now. So I will either see you next weekend or the weekend after that, depending on, schedules and everything, and come with your questions and try to bring some other people into the chat if you can. And let's have a good time. So, this is great. So please check Tabachnik's book. Is this the same one? Oh, I don't have it. I have this book. It's in my car. I carry this book with me. It's actually in the back of my car in my little cube. So I don't have it with me, but I do have that book, and I use that book a lot for research and things like that. So yes, it's the one I have is black. It's probably an old edition, but it's the cover is black and with some color things on the front. So I do have that book. That's a very good book. I just don't have it with me. It's in my car. So I'm the person that walks into Starbucks or wherever I'm at with like 4 statistics books that are all like this thick and my laptop bag and everything else. And I look like, I'm just ready to go, which I am. So I actually keep stats books in the back of my car. Oh, and look at my shirt. Do you like this? There you go. So All right. Oh, you can see it probably. There you go. Best shirt ever. The best shirt for someone who teaches statistics. So, all right. I'm going to go, and I will see you all next week or the weekend after that sometime soon. So I hope you all have a great day. You are all wonderful people, and keep on learning, keep on studying, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.